Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. We are back with another random tea. Actually, we're doing an alignment chart today. So I haven't done one of these in a while. I've actually only done one on the channel so far, which was a Pokemon-related one. So as you guys can see, this looks a little bit different from our normal tier list, but we're going to try it out. Again. And what an alignment chart is, you may have seen some version of this. The political spectrum uses something like this. Basically, we go left or right for one question or one idea, and up and down for another one. So if something ends up here in this corner, that's going to be a lot different from down here, even though they may have the same, left to right description there. So today we are talking about continents, and we are specifically talking about them in terms of the places that there are to see in the continents, places to travel to, and how easy or difficult it may be to travel to those locations. Now, with this in mind, I want to be frank that I am from the United States and therefore from North America. So I will try to take that into account as I go, and I'll talk about, for somebody who perhaps is not from North America, what there may be to visit in North America, for example. And since I already put it up here, and I guess I can't take this away, I guess I'm starting with South America. So South America has some beautiful places to visit. The Amazon rainforest. Brazil has some amazing places to visit. There's a bunch of beautiful, very famous waterfalls, and I apologize, I'm not going to know the name of all of these places, but I know Rio, I know Paradise Falls, I believe, is in South America, right? Lots of beautiful beaches. I mean, the entire side of the country is basically just a long beach. So yeah, in terms of places that you want to visit, I mean, honestly, guys, most of these places are ranking pretty good on here. So I'd say about here, right? Definitely places I'd want to go there. Now, the friendly or easy of the place to visit, I don't think South America is going to be too difficult for a lot of it. Now, there is some political unrest going on in certain parts of South America, which could make it unsafe if you don't know what you're doing. But if you're sticking to the tourist sites and stuff, you're not going into those places where honestly you're not really supposed to be or not wanted. You'll probably be fine there. So I'm going to leave South America here in the kind of middle, maybe just a little bit up, because I don't think it'd be too hard to visit. We'll leave North America because I'm biased on it. Oh, I didn't mean to put that there. No, stop. We'll leave North America in the middle for a second. Europe. Europe has a lot of beautiful places to visit, lots of countries, lots of development. It is the fifth largest continent, but it is, I believe, the second or third most populated one. I still believe there's more people in Europe than there is in North America. So in terms of places you want to visit, good. And in terms of ease of visiting, I definitely think that Europe has a lot of places that you can go rather easily. A lot of people do speak various languages in Europe, whether you speak English, French, or Spanish. I feel like you will be able to communicate with people all over Europe. All those languages are very big over there. Even if you are in a country like Germany or Italy, if you know one of those other languages, you'd probably be good. And honestly, somebody probably speaks Italian if they're in Switzerland, right? Even though they also have their own languages in other places like that. So I think that's going to be a pretty easy place to travel and get around. They also have a lot of development. They have a lot of infrastructure. So if you are traveling, you'll be able to take buses, trains, that type of thing to get around. So in terms of actually ease to visit, I think Europe's probably going to be our best. And then want to visit, it's mostly the man-made structures, Paris, London, Berlin. I'd love to go to Italy, Greece. It's a lot of those man-made cities and places. So Europe's going to be pretty high on my list. I think there's a lot to offer there. I guess now we'll do North America. I just didn't want to do the Americas back and forth, but it's bothering me that's in the middle. In terms of places to visit in North America, there are like Europe, the man-made cities like New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Mexico City, Toronto, I guess, Seattle, right? So there's a huge diversity of different climates and places to visit in North America. There's also going to be, I'm trying to think here, I guess, what would be some natural places to visit? Niagara Falls up in Canada, the Great Lakes bordering the United States and Canada. I guess the Midwest isn't really somewhere to visit, but it's definitely different from a lot of other places. The redwood trees of Northern California. I feel like in terms of uh, world tourist destinations, there's less in North America. I do feel like, though there are though there are ruins and the remains of the Aztec and Maya civilizations in Mexico, and of some of the Native American cultures in North America. So yeah, I feel like this one's tough for me. Obviously, I am biased. I feel like there's going to be more places to see in North America than South America, and this is probably simply just because it's a larger continent and there's more people there. And I think it's going to be a little bit easier to get around. Though North America is very separated, so it's not going to be anywhere near as high as Europe. Because if you're trying to go even from one American city to the next, you're going to have to like rent a car or rent or get on a Greyhound bus or fly. There isn't the infrastructure that Europe has. So yeah, and with South America, in terms of places I want to go, I also forgot that they have a lot of Inca ruins too. Um, I'm big into history, so if you guys don't know what some of these people are, but yeah, I think I'm actually going to move South America up a little bit. So I have North America a little bit higher than South America on both of our rankings, but very, very close. Next, I want to talk about something different. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Antarctica here. Antarctica is going to be incredibly difficult to visit, and I don't know why you would want to because it's just snow. I mean, to see Antarctica, to see that you were in there, sure. To visit the South Pole, but honestly, or Antarctica is going to be down here in the bottom corner. Very unfriendly and or difficult to visit. And also, why would you want to? Australia is our next one here. Australia is going to be pretty easy to visit. Well, not right now. They are well. I'm not taking COVID into account with any of these rankings, but Australia in general is going to be pretty good to visit. Um, Primarily an English speaking language, though I think no matter what language you speak, you'd be able to. I know there are, since Australia is so close to Asia, I know they get a lot of tourists from Asia as well. Um, or at least I think I know that. Correct me if I'm wrong, I guess. But so I feel like it's pretty easy to visit. I feel like it's almost going to be easier to visit than North America because it's a lot smaller than North America. So if you're trying to go to different places in Australia, I feel like it'd be easier. Like, imagine if you're trying to go to North America and you're trying to visit Seattle, Mexico City, and New York. I mean, like, just these three different points around the entire continent. And maybe that's an unfair example because, if you're going to Europe and you're going from Spain to Ukraine, that's going to be pretty far too. But I don't know. I just feel like due to the size of Australia, it's a little bit easier to visit, a little bit easier to go around in. Though I do think that there is going to be less to see there. Now, obviously, Sydney, the Sydney Opera House, um, the Outback. I mean, there are definitely some places that somebody that's not from Australia, like myself, like I would like to visit that. But I feel like there is less here probably because of the size than South America, North America, or Europe thus far. I think I need to move South America up here, and therefore North America. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that like that. Yeah, because all these are going to be easier to visit than not. Next, we have Asia. So when we're talking about Asia, it's the largest continent in the world, by far the most people in the world, by far likely the most diverse continent on the world, more so than North America, because you have Russians, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, uh, Arab, like Polynesian, like you have lots and lots of different people that live in Asia and have different cultures in Asia and that are very far away in Asia. And certain parts of Asia are going to be very different from one another. Saudi Arabia is going to be very, very different from Vietnam, which will be very different from Japan, and even North Korea. So there are definitely some places in Asia that won't be friendly to visit. But I feel like overall, it would be pretty easy to visit a lot of places. I know, like Japan, like you can go visit Japan. I mean, again, not right now because of COVID, but even if you don't speak Japanese, I've heard that a lot of people come from all over the world to visit Japan. Same thing with certain cities in China. Same thing with certain places in India. I know there's a lot of also southeastern countries in Asia that get a lot of tourism, like Bali and Vietnam and Thailand get a lot of tourism from around the world. So I do think that it's going to be a pretty easy place to get to. However, I don't think it's going to be as easy or friendly to visit, like overall, if you take it all together, as Australia would be. I do have to remember here that not everybody speaks English. So if you speak, like if you're from, I don't know, Egypt, and you want to visit a place, I imagine the Middle East would be pretty easy to visit. Much easier than probably like South America. Not only just for the location, but also a similar culture there, presumably. So I'm going to put this right around here with North America. I feel like the cultures in both places might be very, very different, but because there is so much diversity in Asia, it would be easy to visit. And I feel like there is more to see in Asia overall than North America. I named some of the places in North America, but Asia has just as many large, fantastic cities. In fact, probably more than North America does. And on top of that, they have some of the most amazing sites in the entire world. I mean, the Great Wall of China just is one, you know. The Taj Mahal in India, I almost said the pyramids. Pyramids are in Africa. The Kabul in Saudi Arabia. I can't name them all, but plenty of places to visit. So Asia is going to be pretty far over in our places to visit, but a little bit less easy to get there than Australia, probably around the level of North America. Lastly, we have Africa. Africa being a very diverse country. Lots of countries in Africa. Small countries compared to, like the United States or Canada, but countries that are probably mostly larger than European countries. Africa is the second largest continent, I believe, has the second most people as well. Very diverse continent. Northern Africa, very different from Southern or Central. Western going to be different from Eastern. Taking a look at that, there are a lot of developed places in South Africa. Taking a look at like South Africa specifically, Europe, and some of the other countries there. There is a lot of exciting places to visit. The Congo is unlike anything else in the entire world. The Sahara Desert, the Pyramids of Giza, definitely some very, very unique places in Africa. So in terms of going there and seeing it, you would definitely see some places unlike anything else. To that end, I'm going back to the Americas here because I feel like there's more things to visit in Africa than North America. And is there more in South America? I mean, these three are kind of like how do I put these type of, like I don't know which order to toss these in. Yeah, let me know in the comments, definitely, guys. What do you think? This is my last comment. So what do you guys think of North America, South America, and Africa? Which one do you think is easiest to visit? Which one do you think is the most attractive to visit? I would put Africa a little bit further down in the ease of access or the difficulty of access to visit, because I don't think a lot of European languages are as widespread there, and by extension, North American languages either. So I do think there's going to be a little bit of difficulty of access there, at least compared to somewhere like, Japan, India, Europe in general, Australia. So I will put this down a little bit. I think right underneath South America makes sense because South America basically speaks two languages dominantly, Spanish and Portuguese, and whereas Africa has a lot more. So I would put Africa down a little bit further than South America in that vote. But in terms of the places to visit, I feel like there'd be more diverse places to visit in Africa than South America. But I guess it just depends what you want to visit. So definitely let me know, guys, what do you think? Did this make sense? I mean, South America, North America, and Africa, those are the ones that are giving me trouble. I feel like the rest of these I'm pretty confident on where I place them, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think? This is only my second alignment chart, so I'm working on getting better at these. So if you like these, give me a like on the video. There will be another tier list up tomorrow. It's not going to be another alignment chart. So another tier list up tomorrow at noon. And that's because I am the guy that makes random tier lists and I guess sometimes alignment charts. And I'm signing off.